Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts. I want to say a happy belated New Year's to everyone. I am finally back into getting some videos done. Thank you to everyone who offered and sent out well wishes and worried about me. I really appreciate it. It had a few relapses, but I think I'm back to hopefully getting back in the swing of things. I have been crafting a lot, so I have a couple things to share with you, but I did have some requests to share with you how I put together Christmas tags. And I realize Christmas is past, but I am going to be doing some Christmas projects throughout the year, have some other things, and I also had a request for some birthday tags that I will be sharing with you, just the finished projects. I'll explain to you how I made them, but I'm going to go ahead and start with this, tag, this Christmas tag, and I'm going to get my, ruler here. So I'm going to put a few things aside, and I'm going to start with the very basic part, the tag itself. And I have to say that doing tag videos and card videos can sometimes be challenging because honestly I never know what I'm putting on them until I just start throwing stuff together, and then I keep rearranging, and so it's always a work in progress with tags. But anyway, this basic tag started with the black, and then I have the top layer. These came together. When I look for tags on Cricut Design Space, I do look for tags that have multiple layers, so I do not have to try to create that top layer, just because it never comes out properly for me. I'm not completely illiterate, but when it comes to designing things and photos and stuff, yeah, not good. Anyway, my base tag to start is, we will say, about 5 3/4 inches long. This specific tag, and it is about, well, I'm going to go with the widest part because that's what you'll want, 4 1/4. And I let this, I believe I had to just resize to the size I needed. What I did was I created my paper piece and I designed my tag to fit from there somewhat. And my tags, I will tell you, they get kind of large. I don't make real small tags very often. Excuse me, I'm having a struggle with my voice again today. So my tags do get kind of large, but I actually have a couple of bags done with tags on them, and I will share one at the end here. It's fairly close by. So I'm going to get started. Again, I have my base. I didn't share the paper piecing designs, the process. I will share where I got the patterns. You could very easily leave this tag and not glue this top layer down, and what you could do is just let it, be loose. That's certainly fine. I do not use normally, real heavy weight base. This is the black, a 65-pound weight Nino Astro something. I don't know, I've had it for quite a while. I think you can get it at Walmart now also. Excuse me. But anyway, I like to glue mine together. I get extra weight on my tags. Next thing I'm going to do, just because I want this ribbon in there this specific time for what I'm doing, I do put my ribbon in. My ribbon is, I make this longer too, and there's a reason. Let me measure it first here. It is about 18 inches long. I made some tags for someone a while back, and I made the tails, the ribbon, the tie is unfortunately fairly short. And then they said, well, how are we supposed to attach it to the bag? Good question. So I started making my ribbons longer, and they can always be cut shorter. I'm doing this with my tweezers to tie, help hold me tie. This ribbon and this, I'm not sure what kind of twine this is, I forget what exactly it's called, are both from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I'd gotten some for this red for Valentine's Day, and it's very dark, got cranberry color, but it works for Christmas also. So I'm just going to tie this in a knot, and if I get distracted, I do apologize. It is snowing heavily here, about 1 to 2 inches an hour. And I keep watching it pile up, and I think, ugh, go away. I don't want any more snow. Okay, I'm going to tie this in a bow. You don't have to. You could just cut the tails. I did double knot it. I might attempt to tie a bow. I normally can do this better, but, being on camera, nothing goes right. That tweezers out of the way, maybe it'll help. So I made, I'm not a fan of making multiple projects. Well, I made, I think I counted 15 or 16 popcorn boxes for Valentine's Day for my co-workers. I'll show them when I get the contents done. Oh, my fingers are swollen today, and good grief, I can't get this bow tied. What in the world? Okay, I'm going to do it upside down quick. I apologize. Anyway, so I made 16, I think it was, I don't remember, popcorn boxes. All different paper pieces on the front. What in the world is my issue today? Good grief. Let's do this the easy way, maybe. Use my tweezers to get in there. This twine or this fibrous stuff is very... Okay, we're cutting it off when I'm done. I'm not trying to tie a bow any longer. Anyway, I made like 15 or 16 popcorn boxes, and I made the paper pieces all different for all of them. They really are, I think, kind of cute. My mom was over the other day, saw them, and she never comments on things, and she said, well, those are really cute. I was surprised. Okay, I'm going to put my greens on next. I have 2 pieces here. I didn't do anything with the bows, I just left them on. You could cut them off. These are from, I don't know, one of the Cricut cartridges. It's holly boughs. It might be from Winter Woodland. I am not sure. I do apologize. And then I use the Tim Holtz. This is the Thinlits, and it's item number 65879. It is Holiday Greens. This is not the mini Holiday Greens. I want to get those yet, but this is just a bigger pack. And I used that to cut 2 of each of these. Now, before I attach these, I want to show you something. I cut these 2 in white. These are flat, okay? I gotta cut that tail. It's gonna drive me nuts. Get rid of this one, and didn't cut that ribbon. So, lay these on there flat. They look okay. And that's how I had all of my other greens, they were just perfectly flat. Now you can see they're not so flat. They're all curved. So what I did, I'll show you with this white one, and I'll keep the black on so I might be able to see a little better. I take my bone folder. I'll try to be gentle about this because the paper will rip, but I just start curling, and sometimes I'll flip over. You don't want them all going the same direction, obviously, okay? So, and this one, you can curl this way. Even the stem in the center, I will curl. So it curls a different direction. Please excuse me a moment. I'm trying to keep my computer going here, awake. So I'm going to do the other one, also the white one. Get that out of the way a little bit. And curl the stem. If these were greens, I would be, inking the edges first, obviously. I'm just using this for an example. Now I'm doing this all one way first, and then I come back and, might curl some of them up one way, some down. Might have to do it a couple of times just to get them to go. When I get them on, attached, sometimes I will also still do a little more. I just will, maneuver them more however I want. So you can see this one is not near as curled or anything, but you can kind of get an idea that it gives it dimension and more life. I had them all flat, and I'm like, something is just wrong when I was putting this, laying it out. It dawned on me, well, helps if you curl up your greenery. So just was giving you that little bit of a hint. I don't make all my greenery the same color, as you can see. You can, if you have similar colors, you could use different colors of ink to obviously get them changed too. Again, this is from Tim Holtz, this is from the Cricut Design Space, and then this was my Tim Holtz die. So they're just going to get just placed on like this, and that's how I initially start. And I'm going to go ahead and put those on. I do not glue down completely, again, just to allow for some dimension and life. So I start usually with the biggest one. If you don't like it that long hanging down or off, go ahead and cut it down, But what I do is I usually just put some glue a little bit here. Just start with this amount and go from there. And I just kind of want to get this under that tie a little bit where the bow is going to go. And I do my other side, and I just add. I look at what I have for cut files or dies to kind of go with my theme. How I initially started designing my tags, crazy as it sounds, is I treat them as a card front and kind of think, okay, how would I design that card front? This tag I left the base plain. Some I might add more layers of colored cardstock in different ways. That's how because I didn't have a clue how I was going to do tags when I was first asked. Oh, it's been over a year ago to make some birthday tags. I waited till the last possible minute, which I shouldn't have done, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do, and that's kind of how I approached it, and that's what's worked. So, okay, now I'm going to kind of put this at a little bit more of an angle. And again, I would suggest laying out the pieces definitely before you glue anything down, so you kind of know how you want things to go. You'll get all your pieces put together and cut out and inked, and then you know where you want things, you know if you need to add something. Yeah, it just my idea, not that you have to. Okay, so I have those on. Now I have this bow. Ignore the flower and the two leaves first. The bow is just a 3D bow. This die is, well, it's actually not a die, excuse me, it's an SVG file from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. The 3D bow, I think it's called. It's great. There's a more narrow one and then this thicker bow. You can design them any size you want, down to very small. You can make them very large. You can add 2 layers. You could add the skinnier top layer. So much you can do with. I love it. The flower is from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I think it's an apple blossom flower. I wanted a button, but I don't believe I have any buttons left. I got rid of so much when I moved, and then I can't get to my mother's, who I know she has a lot of buttons to get rid of, but because of the weather and the way her driveway is situated, I can't get there in the winter if it's kind of nasty. So I'm just going with the flower. It works. The leaves are actually 2 holly leaves. They might be from Cuddly Cute Designs from a file. I don't know. You could really get them anywhere. So I'm going to glue this on next, so I kind of know where I want to place things. And I'm just going to put glue on the sides here because that middle piece obviously has the hole and I don't want to have glue everywhere. So I am going to use, I need it up a little bit higher. I'm going to use a couple things just to get it set in there. I initially had the holly leaves, the green holly leaves at the top. Didn't like it. Just did not like it at all. So I put them toward the bottom. And then, of course, stuck there, I have 3 little little branches, or whatever you want to call them. This is from the Martha Stewart punch. I just glued 3 of them together. Again, you could use any little greens you have, any dye. You could cut something, from a cut file. I'm just going to add this underneath, maybe. Had it once. Just kind of sticking it in there. You'll still see the holly leaves some, not a lot, but it just, for what I'm working on, the way I want this, it works good. So, and I think this I'm going to try to glue down just a little bit here. Kind of want it to stick well, they don't want to stick in there at all, so maybe that'll hold them a little bit. There are other things going on here that will keep it together. Then I have this die. It is a Spellbinders. Yeah, it's a Spellbinders, like a doily die. It is about 3.5 inches in diameter. I don't have any small paper doilies. I have a couple of doily dies, so that's what I use. And then I just cut this green piece out. It's a foil piece. It was cut. I have some non-branded dies, and that's what I used to cut that out. So I popped that up on 1 layer of foam. I'm just going to layer it under that greenery a little bit. I want it to go up as high as it can for a couple of other pieces I'm putting on. Some of my Christmas tags, I put little tiny little bells and whatnot on. This one I'm not going to. Just, and I'm going to use this point here kind of as a guide to get that in the center, but I want this over just a little bit to kind of center it between the two here this way. There. that on. And then I have this little reindeer. I'm not sure what he's called. He is from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. Things falling everywhere here today. And on his little, kind of like jingle bell things on his collar, I used glossy accents, 2 layers. I don't think the camera will, nope, this one's only 1 layer. If it was 2, they would get a really nice bubble. I just wanted them glossy. I didn't need them that much on the candy cane. I have something called Spectrum Noir Sparkle. This is in clear. Comes in a little bottle, shake it up. Really good so you can't see any stuff on the bottom. You just apply it with a little paintbrush. It's amazing. It's very similar to the glitter pens. All of a sudden, the Wink of Stella glitter pens. I find that this goes a lot farther. I like the sparkle if you want once it's dry. I also put glossy accents sometimes over the top. Really gives it a pop. So just kind of a heads up there with what I used. This little guy, all total put it together, is approximately, I'm going to say 3 3/4 because it'll be from the top of the antler to the bottom here when it's all assembled. And then the width came out to about 2.5 approximately, because I'm going to go from length of each candy, or from the end to the end of the candy cane. He is just going to go on, he's also on foam tape by the way, he's just going to go on here somehow. I just haven't figured out, I'm going to cover up that little antler, that's okay. So I'm going to put him on there. I'm surprised anything for glue works today. It warmed up today, but it's supposed to get, like anywhere from 2 to 10 plus below 0. Yesterday morning it was colder, and then we're supposed to have really high winds on top of it, so it's going to get kind of cold here for a few days. Guess, I wish I could take a picture. I look out and it's pretty much all just, I can see about half a block or a block, and but it's all just white. It's kind of crazy. Okay, hoping you can see that. And then I have 2 more things to put on, and I'm done. I have 3 pine cones. These are from Treasure Box Designs. I do not know what file I used. I'm sorry. I did put I put 2 together on the back. That. The third one on the top in the middle, I did put a little bit of foam tape on. But they are cut at approximately 1 3/4, 1 7/8 inches. If you cut these, I would suggest putting a lighter pressure on your machine and cutting twice, because this top layer, it's interesting to cut. They look beautiful, but yeah. And what I'm doing is this top layer here, if I can get it to show a little bit. Just gonna bend these a little bit because pine cones are they're all bent up and whatnot. But I'm gonna put this doily between these 2 layers here, so the bottom layer is gonna kind of go underneath of those, so it's gonna just slide in an angle. So put those on. I like dimension on things. In fact, I'm going to have to get some more foam tape because I used a lot when I did my Valentine's popcorn boxes. That really took a lot. Okay, one more thing, and I have this little holiday greeting. This is from Paper Tray Ink. I've had it for so long. The little stamped images are the sentiments. I'm not sure if they're still available, and I don't even know the name of it. I apologize. But I just cut that out, and it's on one layer of foam tape. So that's as simple as it is to making these crazy little tags. There's really not a lot to it. Like I said, now I'm going to glue this down just a little bit on the back here where it's sticking on the tag, and then it will, I do, when I come back and put a little bit of glue on just to secure it a little bit, or not. And really, nothing to these. I'm going to grab the birthday ones and the Christmas tag here in a moment with right on the bag, and then you can see that. Just a second here. I'm going to zoom out, so bear with me here. And I have a mess on my desk, or my table, so. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see if this will fit very well. This tag, I know this is at a bit of an angle, I'm sorry. This bag is itself, just the bag part, is 10 inches by 8 inches. It's one of the ones with the handle and stuff. So this tag is about 6.5 inches by 5.5. Excuse me. Apologize. I'll be sharing how I make this tag. I've shared this, before Christmas, but also very, very easy to do. Now you can see this one is where I kept my greens flat. This is before I started manipulating them, and I keep thinking, I just can't think of what I'm burnishing them and getting them shaped. I guess that's the best way to explain. It looks okay, but I much prefer the dimension with the curling and stuff of the flags, the greenery, excuse me. But I'm going to bring in some other tags I've been working on here. I was going to do process video, and it's been kind of noisy here again, so I apologize. So I will just go through it. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here, but go through these. So this was using the birthday slushy file from Cricut Designs. I believe, yeah, this one is still available. I had to stop and think about that. So this one, I got carried away with the glitter, I will admit. And then I also put glossy accents on all of the glitter and on his eyes. Now I'm going to see, I don't know if the camera will pick up. I can't get the camera to pick up the dimension, but the eyes have like a bubble because of the glossy accents. It's kind of neat. And then I just took some dies I have. I ran the white through the Swiss Dots Cuttlebug. I popped up, this is layered twice, and then the slushy, so that there's 3 layers there. And then the happy birthday is embossed, and it's also popped up on foam tape. So, and then I just, tied a bow with my bow it all, added a long tail of purple ribbon. The tag itself is from the Cricut Design Space. One thing I didn't mention, what I do, because these are going to be gifted to someone, I come back on the computer and I use the larger, well, I don't know, inch and 5/8 by 2 and something Avery name labels or mailing labels, and I will put those to and from, and then I just send those separate. So if the recipient wants to write on their own, and just for, from, however they can, or they can attach those. They can write on the labels and then attach them. So this Christmas one I put together also, yes, it's black, but it will have a white label on it if they wanted to, do that. So completely up to them. And then I have this little, whoops, got two there. This bear is a little bit bigger than I wish I would have made it, or I should have made the tag a little bit bigger, however you think about it. But anyway, it is what it is. This bear is from Marjorie and Designs. It's the birthday bears. Tag is from the Cricut Design Space. It is about 5.5 by not quite 4. And then there's a base layer, like a shadow. This would be the shadow, and then the tag layer you can't really see because of the ribbon. I did, so you can see that blue on there, I did create like a paper piece to kind of reinforce the hole there. And to do that, I just took the tag, I hid the contour of the tag, so I just had the little circle for the hole. And I made a larger circle. I attached the two together and I centered them. And I cut them out. And then you get this with the hole in the middle, so you have the perfect size hole to match. Works really good. And then I just made a bow again with my bow and all. This flag, banner die, whatever you want to call it, is just a banner. Again, it's a what do they call it? No name die. I'm not sure exactly. Non-branded, I think it is. So I just added that on for a little bit of dimension. And then I have the little bows here, and that's again some kind of fiber from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and I apologize, I can't think of the name of it. The surprise, I just cut out, I had the Cricut type it out or print it out, and I cut it with the die. The bear itself, and I kept him kind of plain. You could add, glitter and stuff. This, because of the colors, I thought might be more for a boy. The next one's more for a girl. I don't always use a lot of glitter and stuff. It just depends. It just what I'm in the mood to do. The bear, I'm going to say, is probably about 4¼ inches and in height, and he's about, all finished, he's about 3¼ maybe from that end of the ear to his toes. So these are really cute bears. The next one actually I think is cuter. I like the color on the other one better. I used to like the darker bears, but I think when you see this next one, you'll see. So this is the other one I designed. This again is with the Marjorie Ann birthday bears, Marjorie Ann Designs, excuse me. The bear he's cut at about 5 inches, and he's about 2.5, well, let's see, 2.5 inches wide. The balloons I sized all together because they come with it. They don't have any, strings, paper strings. I just used quilting thread, and then I tied a bow and stuff. So, and then these are popped up, and so is the bear. I made this little gift. It's part of one of the designs from the birthday bears. I just added a little piece of tissue paper just to kind of look like there was some tissue paper sticking out of it. This sentiment is a stamped image. I got a bunch of stamped images from my wonderful friend Kim. Thank you very much, Kim. I love them because they just fit with a lot of the designs and stuff I do. And I embossed that right on the tag itself. That was simple. I also have this yellow underneath. I have that little piece to reinforce the hole again. Again, the bow is from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. This top layer actually goes around the curve of the tag, and then I just use one of my balloon dies, my cloud dies to cut it off. I didn't make it the full size, I made it part way, and then so that just makes a little topper on there. Added my ribbon, and that's it. And my tag is 6 by 4. And again, you don't have to have everything right on the tag. It's fun to have it coming off. So that is that tag. And then I have one more to share with you. And this was a lot of fun to create. I don't know where I got this idea initially, if it was from Pinterest or YouTube. I get a lot of ideas from both. But this is this is from Cricut Designs. Please do not ask me what. Can't remember the name of the file. Something puppies. Pirate puppies maybe? Not sure. And the sun is from another file, and so are the clouds, and I don't know. And I can't remember if I got this from one of the files there or from Cricut. I just don't remember. I popped him up, and he is about 4.5 by, is about 2 3/4. I have these bone paper clips, so I just kind of added it on for some dimension because it's just the dog. And then this is actually from the paper pack I used for this, and it I think it's Echo Park. They're pirates. I don't know if it's still available. Again, I cut the circle for that. I used some twine, just more because it would be like rope. I wanted to get some thicker twine, but again, I can't get where I need to get it. So I go to my mom's to get everything, try to get her house cleaned out because she needs to de-stash. Just put it that way. But you know, you always can find something you need. But the tag is 4 1/4, and it is about, we'll say about 5 3/4 inch long. This tag is fun. It's got the curve at the bottom. It is from Mickey and Friends on Cricut Design Space. It's the tag, and I don't know if it's available in another area on Cricut Design Space. I have no idea. But this was a lot of fun to create. I thought that would be really cute for a boy's birthday tag. So those are my tags. I have, like I said, some other ideas. I actually have a scrapbook layout I should hopefully share with you. So I hope to be back coming up with some tag videos, or not tag videos. Sorry, I'm just not with the program today. All kinds of videos. Like I said, Christmas and other ideas, and just trying to get back in the groove of things. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you've gotten some inspiration. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and if you haven't before, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. Have a great day, everybody.